Okay, let's discuss now about karma or spiritual root causes of difficulties in life. How the herd here on earth view it. What's the um, religion standpoint of view, and what I think. I personally, I do not speak for nobody. For each their own. I have nothing to do with other people's path or what they choose to believe, what they choose to follow, up to them. At the end, they will account and answer for it on their own, not me. It's not my problem. I just analyze and I criticize this point of view. I'm the critic. Virgos love to criticize, and that's I think my mission, my agenda, whatever. So, how do you deal with problems? Maybe you try to solve them systematically. Maybe you turn to others for help. Those are the crying babies, the selfish people who love to ask, ask, and never give. Usually, those who ask too much instead of facing with difficulties in life, be it financial, family, health, even health problems, and especially so those stupid romantic side of their problem, which they imagine to be problem. You see, I guess I don't paper the people cry a lot. The strong one will face it with, first of all, dignity, second, pride, third is strength and force. Unfortunately, not everybody is the same, so I speak for those who have the kind of spiritual strength which I have. Or maybe just run away from them. I'm the sort who just is throw it into hell. I just say go to hell and carry on. I do not care. You come to catch me, you better catch me, otherwise I'll turn back, I'll catch you. Regardless of the approach taken, many of us may find that some of the problems we face just do not go away no matter how much we try. Yeah, because as I explained on my other video segment of spirituality or metaphysics, is that there is configuration, that you have to break the devils, the demons, because to me there is only demons, dragons. There's no God, there's no such thing. If there is a God, he's not personal, right? He's just an archetypes of gods. There's no God. There is, however, archetypes, demigods, the ones who think of themselves as the kids on the block, the great kids, the very smart ones, the very tough, powerful dragons, whatever. However, to me, they are not gods. They are more like the genie. They can call them genie, demons. And how I know? Many of those who call themselves canalize, what they call medium, who works for these beings here online, they kind of maintain a very submissive, a very complacent in a religion's outlook, because they are working for them. They have to they have to to carry those beings high. They have to scratch their backs, try to put an impression to them to see whether they can attain salvation or even um, monetary favors, because you can see most of these people ask for money. On my videos, I think I'm the few here who doesn't ask for money, you know, because I don't think it's correct. Not everything is paid. Not everything in life is bought. The best things in life are free. Not talk about sexy that you have to give to yourself free for sex or whatever, but the best things in life are free of charge. If you got pay for something a very high price, then it's no good. That's my standpoint. That's my outlook. That's my perspectives. The reason for this is that the non-most of of course they have a configuration. They have a configuration. They already marked like you had this. Okay, head, I give you a stamp on your back. Here, you're gonna go through this is and that. Difficulty, family relationship, difficulty with money, poverty, or maybe you got money, but you're gonna have a very tragic life. You're gonna be famous and rich, but your life gonna be about scandals, about tragedy, with drugs and accidents on the roads with your family. You see, so it's like this how it um how the things are created, how it transpire that they give you a configuration, brand you, and then gives you all the set of script that you have to go through in this life. It looks like a game to them. To them, you see, it's just like life is like a stage, whereas we are the fools, we are the clown, and the spectator stands there laughing and clapping hands like another group of idiots, laughing at and clapping for the clouds. That's how I paint life. See? And then when I speak up like this, there's idiots who say that I'm negative. Well, I rather be negative than being a fool. You know, somebody's fool, like a fool that lives in a cloud nine or in a Alice in Wonderland kind of fantasy life, where you paint everything as sunny, glittering, etc. I'd rather put my foot into the ground and be planted in there and I see all the aspects, not just the bright but also in the dark aspect of life. Because from there that you're gonna really know the creation and how it all started. So this problem can include financial problem, marital disharmony, depression, miscarriage, and chronic illnesses. Yeah, one come to a kind of family whose father were a drunkard and a abuser, a mother who abandoned the children. There's many cases like that. For example, if most of the family is suffering from financial problems, it can indicate ancestral problems since the whole family shares the same ancestor. Um, yeah, it's some ancestral problem. That's true because we do carry their blue, blueprint in our cells. You see, and all over our causal, mental, and physical body that you use to create here in this matrix. We also um, we carry their blueprint with us, and it could be that Could be that we are just paying for what they brought here with them, but it doesn't have to, because it has been many many years since our ancestor existed, 200, 300 years, whatever. See, so it's about time that we be absolved from the sins of the fathers, the four fathers. Don't have to pay for the crime of fathers. To me, it's stupid, it's ridiculous. Whoever is how to say, whoever is direction is taking charge of all this, whoever is the commander of all this, who call the shots behind the scenes. I find this creature a very big stupid being, because it's about time that they do something about it. They kind of revise the system that they have created, that they um, formulate another kind of system, another kind of creation, and that they remove the person's here um, responsibilities, because they don't have to carry all the responsibility from their ancestral. They got nothing to do with their ancestral, you see. So for that, you need to make affirmative make affirmations, make strong and authoritative affirmation that you don't have to pay for your ancestors, both sides of the parental line, father, mother. You don't have to carry their sin. No, I'm not saying sin, but their what they brought into them, like their configuration. I'm not saying sins, but configuration. See, that's stupid to me. That doesn't make any sense. And that's corrupt. Yep, corrupt. Just like this, other spiritual factors such as destiny or negative energy problems can be at the root of the problems we face. Yep. And yeah, they are right in that. Yeah, they're right. Because when we come here with a particular mission to blowing whistle, will be followed, being stalked, you see, will be targeted. I'm not saying by the government, by people, rich people. They don't care for people who for them doesn't have any significant, any status quo or any social significance. You see, they do not care. However, those who are on top of them, their masters, because for me they are the dogs and the others are the master. The master care, and so they will persecute that group of people, or they will twist their psychology, so they will start to think differently, or maybe they just want to activate you. They work as a catalyst to make you think differently and to expose the other faction that they do not um, go along with, because they fight for power. So they will use you to go against the faction which they don't like. And with that, you get what? Negative beings following you and pushing you to the brinks, giving you what some call bad luck. However, if the person is stupid, what they will do with this bad luck? They will freak They will start to do stupid things, to do unthinkable things like commit suicide or kill some other people or steal, taking drugs. This is how people do to camouflage the pain, the emotional pain that they are feeling inside. But others no. Others will face it. All this if strength, is spiritual strength and mental strength. Those people are tougher than rhinos, and the more they are given problem to solve, the more they will push them and push them to fall into the floor or to the bottom of the pit. They like a phoenix. They will raise up stronger than before. And even alone, of course, it's easier for you to be strong if you group with armies. It's easier for you to be strong this way. Why cannot be? Families, with friends, with the whole society backing you up. I want to see you strong when you are alone to face the adversities in life. Then it's there where you are judged whether you are really strong and courageous and a hero or heroine or not. So here we are. We are given all this setup to trigger us into speak up, express up, or even to do stupid thing. If you cannot pass the test, then you do the unthinkable. That is going to the path of crimes. And if that, you're gonna ruin yourself, your reputation, and your validity. So modern science only looks at the physical and psychological factors of a problem, but fails to see how spiritual factors play an important role. Problems that have their root cause in the spiritual dimension can only be overcome with a spiritual solution. Recommend doing spiritual practice because this addresses the spiritual root cause of our problem. No, 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 no. By doing that, you actually making more problem in the long run because you are committed to a contract with these beings. You see, so I don't care whoever do this. Go ahead, start to have a contract with a cult, no rituals, a religion system, whatever. Go on and do if it serves you and you are too coward to face your demons and face the demons inside your closet. So go ahead, join a spiritual cult. However, don't come later to complain that still didn't solve. Still, there's a void to be fulfilled in your life, that don't have peace, whatever, or that your dreams are not being achieved. Because humans here only care for three things: money, money, pleasures of the body, and a comfort. That's it. They do not care for other things. Many seekers around the world have experienced how doing spiritual practice has improved the quality of their lives and how it has helped them to overcome the problem. And that's the point. This is just a placebo. They just put in their mind that this will solve and relieve their traumas and problems, whatever. But it will not eradicate any problem. It will just bring in more problems. And why this happen? Because once you start into the cult, into joining a cult, be it whatever branch of religions or cult, you will, as I said before, you will make a contract. And if you scratch their back, the demon's back, they will also scratch yours. Right? You do me a favor, do your favor. However, once you stop doing what they want, they will totally uh, push up that button and they're gonna destroy you. So you're gonna keep on give more and more and more of yourself, and then later they will want your descendants, the one that is to come after you. They want your descendants to be also involved in this cult, and if you do not, then they will punish their family, you and that family. See, that's my point of view. I have been and not been studying for nothing, been studying all these decades. And all I see here in this earth are people who are complacent, people who do not think outside the box. I see just one or two and billions of these so-called humans who are able to think outside the box. See, when I think that I have found somebody who thinks like me, I am disappointed, because actually these people have a hidden agenda or hidden intentions, and their number one key is to be what? Doris blower, just so to cause a rift between government, those in power, and the common people. And who knows if they are not even work for the government? How am I supposed to know? And then they bring metaphysics, bring spirituality, bring the occult into all this. I'm not saying that the people who are into religion like this one is in tandem. They are working for government. No, I'm not saying that. But the other people who are who canalize things here online, who give his talks, show and whatever about this new age stuff, about conspiracy theory, no whatever. And I feel that there is some creatures who want to put, because once you weaken the government, you weaken our foundation here on earth, and that's when they come and take over. They totally take over. Because you see, beings, they don't show, but they hate humanity. And why now, right now in this 21st century, there has been so many chaos, so many destruction, after they open too many, far too many portals, and that CERN in Switzerland. Why? Why this happened? If not to cause chaos and the rift between people. And assure those who are in power to follow them. And besides that, still have those who are used, manipulated by these beings to still cause another set of problem, and give the appearance, the belief, the false belief impression that in reality the governments are only the bad ones, and that these beings coming here to save the people. They are the Messiah who came to save the people. However, what these people don't see, those people who follow these channels that always have a hidden agenda or a kind of worship toward certain being. When you see one people carry favor, one side take sides, be partial, then you must start to question their motives. You see, if I come here to say, oh, who is good is this and that, and Lucifer is good, oh no no no, Jesus is good, no, Sananda is good, oh no, Jehovah is good, then you must start to think, oh, there's something behind this person. Who are this person to take sides? Who are they? Who they think they are, that they think that they can take side, say letter B is better than letter A. I stay on the middle. I like the middle path, because I walk as an arbitrary between these 2 points, A and B. And it's within that point where you are most like not to fall into extreme, not to do right and neither to the left. You are on the middle, walking as an arbitrary. Understand my point of view? So all this is not going to help you. You see, all this is nonsense, all superstitions and fanatism. Nothing to do. Not gonna help you. And why I know it? Well, experiences, observations, dissections, analyze, deep analysis. I try to go deep into the rabbit hole to dig as much as I can. Luckily for me, I got this gift. So, have you ever wondered how two people could have ever gotten married? Oh, you don't even have to ask me. This happened to me. The idiot, the accursed ones, the evil ones took me from my place of best expression, took me away from my family to place me in a place that has nothing to do with me, a place so totally alien to me, through this marriage, since, and that was a long time ago. And really, I knew I don't have to come to here to confirm what I've already knew all this while. I knew that my marriage has something to do with alien configuration. First, I saw the accursed devils there at my hometown in '83. They come to abduct me for 3 consecutive nights, and suddenly I saw myself coming to a place where I got nothing to do with the culture, with the people, etc. And then, up to then, I didn't know anything. I just went with the flow, because only dead fishes run with the flow. And like a dead fish, I went with the flow, only later to fight against the current, the tide, but was a bit too late. And then I came to understand that it was not for nothing that I came to the place where I am, and that they have me triggered, and that it all was arranged in the occult way. Or maybe do not understand why you always have some problem while your friend seems to have it. Yeah, it's true. And why? Because they know that you know something. They want to make your life misery, hell, so that you are unlikely to raise up and then to fight against them. But I believe there's always a power, a higher power that is still will counteract all that, and that will help you along the way. They cannot get away from all the evil they do for a long time. The root cause to both of these events and many of the events in our lives can lie in the spiritual dimension. I knew it. I knew it. Since 2003 that I have the awakening and I start to think of all these possibilities. And this is why so many things do not seem to make sense. Yeah. But now I finally put the blocks all together. The blocks of the puzzle. And I come to a conclusion that I will set up. Various ways people try to overcome the difficulties in life. Let's say you have an argument with your spouse. You may run to the nearest pub to drown your sorrows, or may go and buy an expensive pair of shoes to distract yourself, or go to your family to gossip, like in the case of some gossiping mama's boy. Instead of the woman do it, nowadays the male, even though they are older than the woman, much older, they still go to relatives' house to gossip about their wives. When they are the violent and they are the wrong. If this keeps repeating, you may even seek marriage counseling. For what? What we don't generally consider is that the root cause of the problem may be in the spiritual dimension, that we may need to apply spiritual solution to get relief. The spiritual solution is simple. Get the hell away. Split, separate. Go to your own ways. Each one go their own ways and stop businesses of attachment and possessiveness. Root cause of difficulties in my life. Here we explain more about how the causes of problems at the physical, psychological, and spiritual levels, and we also explain some spiritual solutions we can take. Problems such as marital problems, chest pain, drug addiction, alcoholism, loss of parents at young age, loss of parents at a young age, violence in school, and increased natural disasters can all have their root cause. Of course, I know all this natural disaster had nothing, has anything except natural. This not natural is done by aliens. I know. So, 3 steps to start spiritual journey today. Whichever religion's path or culture you come from, there are 3 things you can do to begin your spiritual journey. Nonsense, this one is for the fanatics. The head is without. Oh. Those are the people without they don't have a mind of their own and don't have the ability to think for themselves, so they allow other people to think for them. Spiritual healing remedy performed regularly with spiritual practice help to increase the positivity within us. So that's about it, and 3 steps. So that's about it. All the spiritual problem is overcome. Is only conquered when you take the reins of your life and you start to be strong and be mighty less of all that, because in the end nothing matters. The more you fear something, the more you are attracted to it. The spiritual dimension influences up to 8% of our lives on average. Our deeds in the past include past lives, decide about 65. No such thing, dude. These are all our ancestral. This all has been the life of our ancestors that we are. If you are, if you recall in past life, this is the life of our ancestral, because all their DNA imprint is imbued inside our eyes. We went a life in the nonsense. These are your sickening people. From the perspective of spiritual path of action, the spiritual path of action is inherently about practicing spirituality by the principle that as one sows, so shall you reap here. Here, we don't have to go back there and come back with our memory erased just to pay for something that do not remember having done. And the question remains, and if you haven't done, then what? Why should you pay for the karma of other people? It doesn't make any sense if you are intelligent like me. And if somebody thinks that I'm all boastful and I'm full of myself, yeah, I'm filled with myself. Better than be empty without me. Sometimes the ego saves us. See, too much ego at the expense of others is no good. You must draw a line. When you are using your ego to harm other people, it's no good. But when you are using it to save yourself, then it's okay. It's a positive approach. So if you were to look at why we experience happiness in life from the viewpoint of the path of action, then all happiness and unhappiness and all of our life events are experienced as either due to distinct or willful actions. Here, the things that we have practiced here, like doing some bad choices in life, take a path when you were still very young or out of conscience, when you do things in the spur of the moment, then you're gonna pay for it. But you don't have to pay for ages, because you still are young, and young people do make mistakes. If the older adults do, why not the young people? And they should be relieved from that action that they have produced, the reaction of that they have produced from their actions in the spur of their moment. Some incidents, thoughts, actions, and behavior are totally within one's control. Yeah, but only if you are not young, right? Or a child. If you try to restrain your kid not to play with the toys that you don't want to, you're gonna raise a psychopath person, a restrict person with a lot of pain up emotions. And once they grow up and they start to throw all the emotion out, they'll do a lot and lots and lots of how to call damage to society, to themselves. Okay, think about that. This is common psychology. So anybody, we are here to commit mistake. After all, we are not in a place where it is 100% how to say, this is not a planet where it's all goodness. This is a bipolar planet. There is the good, there's the bad, there's the yin and the yang, right? So we cannot expect that everybody be perfect and neither to everybody be bad. People are allowed to make mistakes, once to learn from them and not to repeat them. But once they do mistakes, they are not to be judged unless they keep on doing the same things. It's just like doing the same stuff, expecting to have different results. It's like type into the same letter over and over again, then this is wrong. There's something wrong with that person. Otherwise, they are not to be judged and yes, understood and forgiven. These are the actions where we use our mind, feeling, emotion, intellect, decision, make ability, and act. Yeah, when you doubt, I will say 25 over. And the rule of thumb in the current times, 35% of our lives are determined by our free will or free choice. Yeah, so why are you judging? Why are you judging? That's so hypocrite of these people. They say one thing, then they turn around and do another. This time the action, that part of our lives which is decided either by our deeds in past lives or past, no such thing, Duri. The past life is when, let's say, we were 25 years of age, and now we are maybe 40, 30s, 50, 16, so on, above. Then you, once we are older, you have to pay for our past mistakes when you were young, right? But not that we have to die and come back and pay. That's nonsense. Only stupid people live in this kind of thing. The rule of thumb, major invention for lifestyle disability include birth, marriage, serious accident and illness. In the current era, who commit these are all demons here. They come here to create all these things to form catalysm, and once they do, they expect to be get accolades, get points from the master. In the current era, they constitute 65% of all actions. Our destiny is determine how we react to respond to various stimuli and events. And also those aliens, there is a lot of social scientists here to create the catalysm and chaos, and then they will note down the reaction of the people, how they react in an event of war, event of car accident, assuring a problem in the family, etc. The destiny that we are born with is just a silver of our accumulated give and take account over all past births. No sense. Nobody come here knowing. Nobody here come with a set of booklet, you know what to do, not to do. We are given, yeah, but many people doesn't have a good family foundation to begin with, to be instructed on how, what or not to do as they grow older. Every action of ours either creates an account or settles one. It could also be a combining of both. Example, party settling and party creating. Accounts can be positive or negative. When we are settling accounts, it's destined, and when we create accounts, it's because of willful action. But we need to remember that you cannot pay for the accounts of others. You are not responsible for the actions of others, and here is where this nonsense of karma comes into question, comes into the point. Okay, we are not paying for non-damned past lives that does not even exist, karma. But yes, something or someone else karma. If John has given me, we are only liable to pay for the action that we do here. We rob, we have to pay for it. We kill somebody, we have to pay for it. Okay? If John has given Mary 5 units of paint by cheating on her, Then by this section, he could be settling a give and take account of creating one or a combination of both. A combination of both. On the other hand, but he will have to pay it here. Soon, Mary will also cheat on him, or he will find another person that will cheat on him. On the other hand, but in here, the same life. On the other hand, if John gives Mary a brand new car, then by this section too, he could be settling a give and take account or creating one or a combination of both. Without a highly activated sixth sense, we could never know which one of our actions could be settling or creating accounts. Even if people have sixth sense and know that deed, that something that they are doing will cause some kind of reaction or have a consequence later on, still they will not care, because what they want is the experiences. This is what we are here for, experience and not results. The creators who create all that are less interested in results than they are with experiences. Okay, when a kid is going to play, you set your kids to play on the playground, you don't care about the result when they fall down, get hurt. All you care is the experience of seeing them laugh, happy, and playing, and experiencing being happy, right? So here is where all this come into. This is how all this makes sense and come into sense, is that we are here to experience things, okay, and not to have to pay for something. Although you may still have to pay for the result, and this is the result. When you get a result of your experiences, that's what we call karma. Quem não passou through the six things are being created. In the case of John and Mary, if the account of cheating was being settled, it could have either been created in a previous lifetime, past life, or in the current lifetime where Mary had inflicted karma of happiness. It's no sense. Needless to say, settling of negative accounting can give us a lot of pain in a lifetime. Doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Just have to not be aware of the demons around you. That's all. This is the explanation behind advance, where we see good people going through situations if you deserve it, and they are. Because you don't have to be bad to suffer bad experiences in adversities in life. In fact, since this world is a Luciferian world, who is good only can really screw. They will say, screw it. She is good, screw her. Do you understand? How it works? Stupid people. Quite often we hear the phrase, it's God's way, it's a mystery. Nonsense. It's not a mystery to me. To me, it's a demonstry. It's a demon's way. In truth, there is no mystery. Everything happens. You talk so big. Like they know so much. About time to think outside the box. Ignorancy about the factor, destiny, and the give and take accounts lead people to the best situation, cry out in despair, saying, "What have I done to deserve?" This is ignorant people, because they know about all the mystery, the occult version about what is happening in their life and in the world. They will no more cry, but they will try to combat all that, and not cry, but combat. Sometimes this can lead to blaming God, and then who blame who? You. In most cases, because people are not educated, yeah, like yourself, not educated. But this kind of explanation here is like kindergarten to me, kindergarten level of mentality about the principle of destiny. Do not know how to cope with, overcome whatever is happening. Then complacency is through complacency and subversion, be submissive. You are also not being intelligent. When you are complacent about something, submissive, you are not being intelligent. You are just at the mercy of something. You see, you allow yourself to be the cause of it, to be the reaction of it. You just allow yourself to be bullied instead of to be the cause of it. Be cause. So be the cause of something. But do not therefore be the result of it. The result doesn't matter. What's over is over. Move on. Learn from it and move on. You don't have to pay no crap. If they would, no says, what about you be educated? So I like to talk to these people. These people are very, very stupid. And since you yourself who do say that are creating negativity, you are telling people not to be negative. What the heck? Conversely, settling of positive destiny gives us a pleasant surprise. That's why we sometimes find that apparently totally non-deserving people win a lottery because they do a pact with some devil, something. Because the devil that decide know that they deserve to be rich because in the first place they were not good enough to be poor. Yeah. It looks bad to me to see that people. I think they will say what mentality this person has, but yeah, it's this how it works in the ultimate reality and see reality is this how it works. When you are not good enough to be a poor person and be intelligent and gain insights with the experience, you're gonna win lottery just to later on you fall into the pit. You see how many people won lottery and just to later on lose it all and lose friends and family. The families and friends only come to these people when they had money, and then when they lose everything, everybody uh, forgot about him, stay away from that person. And then this kind of experience taught that person that money is a tool from which you can either help or gives you a service or even teach you a lesson on how to choose who to see who is really your friends and who deserves your trust. You don't have to really work for it. Understand the science in principle that misfall such happen. We have lived in many lifetimes before. No, you have, I not me. At this point in time, purpose, but 100% of our lives were determined by our full action, no sense. You saw that, you were there to see. It took so easy. And so look like they know so much. It was like you had a blank piece of paper and clean slate. Then at the time, but no sense. Our first birth, our last birth. Whoever don't want us to have beautiful action, don't broadcast here. If I don't want my children to play with fire, I'll not leave matches and what they call it light around the house. right? Does it make sense or not? If you don't want your children to hold themselves, don't leave a knife around the house, right? Right or not? We describe the full average nonsense that is stupid, a breakdown of the root cause difficulty in personal, spiritual, psychological, and or physical. Yeah, and that it can be is right. How does this breakdown relate to doing this tiny part of our lives? An example of this would be where person A is warned that water from particular area is polluted and needs to be boiled before drinking. However, due to overconfidence, but this one doesn't hurt nobody. He's only being careless. He's not being aware of about his physical fitness. He says that he can digest all kind of germs and drinks the water. If thereafter he develops diarrhea, it can be said to be self-induced and he would thus become a willful action. Nonsense. Here a person is destined to get diarrhea and he is destined to go through a certain amount of suffering owing to a demerit in a ridiculous. Unknown to most of mankind, there exists a subtle and intangible word. Everybody, I think even a dog nowadays know this in a cat. Stress, ghosts, demons, devil, negative energies. There exists no such thing as a ghost. Water is tolerance. Ridiculous. A person not doing spiritual in who is at a spiritual life is more like to affect the ancestor. Then the ancestor of this person is the devil, might be them, isn't it? The increase the attack is due to the fact that this person, by helping people to grow spiritually, is contributing to increase spiritual practice. The threshold levels defensive mechanism of a person. The spiritual level 50% in attack are higher. The best thing is do something do affirmation lower level negative entities with 10% spiritual energy cannot touch a person's 50 spiritual level. Due to the protection they are able to receive. Yeah, this can be true, but not particularly from any particular god. But on the other hand, people with a low spiritual level are vulnerable to attacks from even low level ghosts. Sometimes a student has a lot of potential and he does not study as per his capability. His parents or teacher may ground him and force him to study. The ground may seem like a problem to the student, but it also helps to keep him more involved with his studies. So sometimes positive energy causes problem in our life to make us stop and think and lead us to inquire about the spiritual realm and spiritual practice. There's no sense in these kids because of this positive thing that many kids get into the psychological clinic room or commit suicide. Muladhara chakra, Muladhara. Still tender candy food and non-vegetarian food contain the basic subtle Raja Tama component to great extent. Clothes. Synthetic clothes have a predominancy of the basic subtle Rajatama, that's the negative, like dark energies component. Black and darker shades also attract, imbibe, and transmit the basic subtle Rajatama component to a greater extent. Thus it becomes easier for the ghost to affect those wearing such clothes. A particular time may or may not be good for a person. For example, an industrialist suffers huge losses despite all the other variables like, for example, staff participation, cooperation, technology, capital investment being favorable, and there being no attack from subtle bodies of departed ancestors or ghosts. In this case, it's the effect of the time factor. Collective demerits. If a country, community, or race has perpetrated atrocities on others, it becomes liable to earn what is known as collective demerits. Here, where the particular individual has participated, being party to the atrocities in material, being silent is a good and being part to it. Yeah, when you silence yourself, you agree to it. You are accomplice. In time, the entire population has to suffer equally, collectively, either in the same or some other birth. Yeah, this one I agree. It's true. The ghosts exploit any such factor unfavorable to the person to attack him, not ghosts. They do not bother with the non-seekers, as in their eyes they are immaterial. The pertinent point is that whether we do spiritual practice or not, we can be attacked. At first glance, one may feel that by doing spiritual practice, one is liable to be attacked more by ghosts. It's true. So men go to church and then after that go home and stab their kids to death. This happened in some country. This is akin to the rich and super rich being targeted more by the kidnappers. But the rich are also better equipped to deal with this. Besides, all the perk they enjoy by being wealthy. Similarly, with spiritual practice, though we are attracted more, as we have access to correspondingly higher protection from God, we are also better equipped to handle it. Sense. People with no spiritual practice and therefore less spiritual energy become vulnerable to any sort of attack by any type of ghost. This can also be understood by the full analogy. Sometimes you go through years of study which may relatively be painful compared to another person who has just completed high school and is already earning. Through a meager amount, while we are spending many hours cooped up in the house studying, they maybe enjoy their life in going for the movies. Spiritual remedy is something that is implemented primarily to overcome special spiritual problems. Yeah, sure, it's true. It's either physical, psychological, spiritual. If the physical help cannot solve the problem, like going for a psychologist, a physician, then it cannot help. It's spiritual. There's a very high likelihood that the root cause is spiritual. All major problems are most likely to be destined with a kind of spiritual problem, like generation curse. There's such thing as generational curse, where we settle past accounting. Solution from destiny can only be achieved through spiritual practice. our ancestors and ghosts can play up or affect problems within a family, such as physical illnesses, mental illnesses. If we are of a low spiritual level, we are very vulnerable to their attacks. Sustain the spiritual practice according to 6. Okay, so that there we go. Let's see now. In order to overcome difficulty completely, we need to first correctly understand its root cause. Only when the correct and complete diagnosis has been made by going to the root of the difficulty can be given appropriate remedy. Modern sciences attribute the cause of a problem to being either physical or psychological. Hence we go looking for the cause and remedy on these two areas. Yeah, when the problem is deep in. Itching is understood. What itching? Oh, okay, the act of itching. Narcotic abuse is understood as a psychological problem treated primarily with psychotherapy. Yeah, when there's some kind of how to say it, some kind of possession or spiritual disturbances. But there is a third cause of our difficulties in life, and that's spiritual. Spiritual root causes of difficulties, in fact, affect our lives to a large extent. But spiritual causes are not as easily understood, as they are beyond the understanding of the modern sciences. In fact, the WHO, who has suggested in an elaboration of definition of health and being a state of positive health in the physical, mental, social, spiritual dimensions. Thus, officially, it has been ascertained that spiritual well-being is also a component that contributes to our health. However, spiritual research conducted by reveals the actual extent to which spiritual factors contribute to our total well-being. Through spiritual research, we have ascertained the breakdown, or on average, between the three root causes being responsible for problems in our lives. The pie chart below gives an average breakdown of the root causes of problems and difficulties in our lives. Oh, this way. Spiritual practice helps to build the overall spiritual energy to combat or be isolated from these problems. In this way, problems that have their root cause in the spiritual realm can either be resolved or get the strength to endure them. Yep. It's important to note that any given physical symptom could have a proportion of the root cause and the physical, psychological, spiritual dimension, and that they are not mutually exclusive. In simple terms, the physical symptom could have contributing factors from not just a physical dimension, but it could be a combination of physical and spiritual, or even physical, spiritual, and physiological factors. Is because when the aura, the causal body side is already sick, it will affect the more dense body, that is this one. So all aspects are interchangeable. When you are sick mentally, you may affect your body, and when you are sick outside the causal body, the aura, it will affect your physical and your mental bodies. For example, the diagram below shows how a woman experiences severe pain in the stomach when the root cause lies in all three dimensions. Ooh. Physical, due to eating contaminated food, and sometimes not contaminated food. Psychological, due to only that one cannot attend important functions into the. No, it's not that. A ghost increase the intensity of the pain. Yeah, could be that. Because I have been through all this already, and it's very terrible pain. The accursed ones really affect very deeply, but very difficult to remedy because they try to kill us, but when they cannot, they go away. So that's all for today.